All right, let's talk about the dinosaurs. We're going to dive into their incredible story, how they ruled this planet for a length of time that's almost impossible to wrap your head around, and how a single catastrophic day brought that reign to a sudden, violent end. I mean, just look at that number, 160 million years. For that long, dinosaurs were the undisputed masters, dominating every single continent, every ocean. To put that into perspective, our own species, Homo sapiens, we've only been around for a few 100,000 years. It's not even close. Theirs was truly an era of unimaginable scale and power. So let's jump back in time, way back to the Jurassic period. You have these first giant predators starting to patrol a world that looks completely alien to us now. And trust me, the killing wasn't just happening on land. Down in the warm, tropical seas of what we now call Europe, the apex predator was a creature we call Predator X. This thing was a 15-meter-long marine reptile, a pliosaur, weighing in at 45 tons. And it had the single most powerful bite ever discovered in the entire animal kingdom, period. The sheer power of this animal is just, it's mind-boggling. Its skull, which they found up in the Arctic back in 2008, was nearly twice the size of a T-Rex's. Okay, but what about its bite force? Get this. It was a staggering 4 times greater than a T-Rex's. This thing was the absolute, undisputed king of the Jurassic Seas. Okay, so let's head back to dry land because things were getting just as intense there. A deadly evolutionary arms race was in full swing. You had predators and prey locked in this constant life-or-death struggle, pushing each other to evolve bigger, badder weapons and even tougher defenses. And this brings us to one of the most successful killers of the era, the Allosaurus, and a really fascinating puzzle. See, studies have shown that its bite was actually weaker than a modern lion's. So how on earth did it manage to take down walking tanks like the Stegosaurus? Well, it turns out it didn't need a crushing bite. Instead, the Allosaurus used its incredibly powerful neck muscles to drive its upper jaw straight down, kind of like a hatchet. Its serrated teeth would slice deep into its prey, causing massive shock and blood loss. It wasn't a quick kill, but man, was it brutally effective. And you know, the best part is we have proof. The fossil record gives us this stunning, frozen-in-time picture of these epic battles. We found Stegosaurus plates with U-shaped bite marks that are a perfect match for an Allosaurus jaw. We've even found an Allosaurus bone that was pierced by a Stegosaurus tail spike, a wound that, unbelievably, the predator actually survived. So this evolutionary arms race just kept escalating, and it all came to a head in the Cretaceous period. By this point, you had these specialized giant killers ruling every single corner of the globe. You had tyrannosaurs like Desplotaurus stalking North America, the massive shark-toothed Carcharodontosaurus in Africa, and the pack-hunting Mapusaurus down in South America. The dinosaurs had totally conquered the world. Their dynasty was absolute. Their reign felt like it would last forever. But they were completely, utterly clueless about a threat that was fast approaching from way, way beyond their world. Right, let's zoom out, way out into space. Because a completely random event in the asteroid belt, millions of kilometers away, was about to set the stage for total annihilation back here on Earth. What happened was this colossal rock, about 15 kilometers wide, literally the size of Mount Everest, got nudged out of its stable orbit probably by the immense gravity of Jupiter. And just like that, it began its unstoppable, silent journey straight toward our unsuspecting planet. For months, it would have just appeared as a new star in the sky, but every single night it would have gotten a little brighter and a little bigger. A silent messenger of doom that no creature on Earth could possibly understand. So in those final moments, the asteroid was screaming through space at an unbelievable 250,000 kilometers per hour. It finally hit its target, slamming into what is now the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico. And in that instant, it unleashed an amount of energy that is just beyond all human comprehension. This was the day the world ended. The impact released the energy of 100 teratons of TNT. That's equivalent to billions, with a B, of the atomic bombs dropped on Hiroshima, all exploding at the exact same second. The blast just vaporized everything for hundreds of kilometers in every direction. The shockwave triggered planet-shaking earthquakes that were literally off the charts, registering over magnitude 11.
It kicked off mega tsunamis, some over a kilometer high, that just raced across the oceans, wiping out coastlines thousands of miles away.
But you know what? The blasts, they were just the beginning. Trillions of tons of pulverized rock, dust, and soot got blasted high into the atmosphere, wrapping the entire planet in a thick shroud. This debris blocked out the sun, plunging the world into a deep, freezing darkness that would last for years. And in that aftermath of fire and ice, the world was changed forever. The long, long reign of the dinosaurs was over, and the fall of their dynasty created the perfect opportunity for the rise of a new one. The disaster was so complete, so profound, that an estimated 75% of all species on Earth were just gone, wiped out in what is, geologically speaking, the blink of an eye. This was one of the 5 greatest mass extinctions in our planet's entire history. And this is where you see the key to survival. The big animals, like all the non-avian dinosaurs, they needed tons of food and had nowhere to hide. They stood zero chance. But the small, burrowing creatures, and this includes our own tiny shrew-like mammal ancestors, they were able to shelter from the worst of it by hiding underground. So with the giants gone, these little survivors inherited a broken, empty Earth. This one mass extinction event is what directly paved the way for the age of mammals, allowing them to explode in diversity, filling all those empty roles, and eventually leading to us, the age of humans. Which, when you think about it, leaves us with one final, pretty profound thought. Our entire existence, this whole world as we know it, we owe it all to a cosmic coincidence, a random rock knocked off course that ended a 160 million year empire and gave us our chance to begin.